Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, and today is Lag BaOmer. Happy Lag BaOmer. So, Lag BaOmer is a very special day in the Jewish calendar because every single thing about it is mysterious and complicated and just simply unknown. Even the name is not quite so clear if it should be Lag BaOmer or, Lag BaOmer or Lag LaOmer. Not going to go into that right now. But first of all, it is not mentioned anywhere in the Talmud, not anywhere during the early medieval period, no mention of Lag BaOmer at all whatsoever until the Meiri in the late 13th century. And here's what the Meiri says. This is the earliest source we have about anything connected to this date of Lag BaOmer. And it's as follows. The Talmud tells the following story, which in itself is highly cryptic and mysterious. The Talmud says, famous passage in the Talmud, Yevamos, between Pesach and Shavuos, 12,000 pairs of students of Rabbi Akiva died because they did not show the proper respect one to the other. Okay, cryptic, mysterious, question on top of question, what does it mean? But that's all the Gemara says. That's it. Only the Meiri in the late 13th century says, for the first time, that on Lag BaOmer, no one died. And because of that, some of the restrictions of the Omer period, such as, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say. So, on Lag BaOmer, therefore, we do not allow any fast. We're not allowed to make it into a fast day. And the restriction on getting married from Pesach ends at Lag BaOmer. That's what the Meiri says. That's it. But nothing about celebrating, nothing in any positive sense. That's the earliest source we have, which, by the way, is a fascinating lesson that I'll just mention now because it's worth devoting time in depth. And that is, it's a fascinating lesson in how to, in quotation marks, celebrate a day where nothing bad happened. I mean, the Talmud is saying nobody died that day, and that's a reason for celebrating, which is a really important lesson, especially for us right now. Okay, now, the Shulchan Aruch, now remember, Code of Jewish Law, Rabbi Yosef Karo, that's the early 1500s, records this, but again, nothing about celebrating, nothing about anything, any positive aspect. He just says, none of the restrictions of the Omer period apply on Lag BaOmer. The Ramah, Rabbi Moshe Isserles, in the mid-1500s, around the same time as the Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah, Rabbi Moshe Isserles, living in Krakow, says, following words, simple words, Umarbim bo tzas simcha. We add a little bit of joy to the day. That is the first mention of any positive aspect of celebrating. So that's it. So we're talking about something that is a very recent innovation in the context of the Jewish calendar. So what is it? Why are we celebrating? What's the reason? Nope. And no one mentions any reason for positive celebrating. So in modern times, there has been a lot of attention developed to connecting Lag BaOmer to a person in the Talmud, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, Rabbi Shimon, the son of Yochai, also known by the acronym of his name, Rashbi. But again, that connection only starts in the modern era, and certain segments of the Jewish community, especially the Hasidic world and the Sephardic world, have embellished and enlarged this connection in recent years, in recent decades, to a rather amazing extent. And that's a somewhat controversial subject. Again, not really my subject for today, but that subject, that connection, which is so heavily manifest today, is of very recent origin and somewhat controversial history. Now, there's another approach, less well known, and that is that Lag BaOmer, according to this approach, is the day that Bar Kochba reconquered Yerushalayim. So, let's understand. The Romans destroyed the Beis Hamikdash, the Second Temple, in about the year 70 of the current era. And many Jews were exiled. Yerushalayim was destroyed. Many Jews moved to the northern part of Israel, and Yerushalayim was basically desolate. About approximately 60 years later, there was an uprising led by a man named Bar Kochba. Maybe it's the same person referred to as Bar Koziva. That's not clear if that's the same person or a different person, maybe. Maybe Rabbi Akiva was connected in some strong way to Bar Kochba. Again, not clear. But Bar Kochba led this uprising, and what we do know is that his uprising, remember, against Rome, who had conquered the world at that point, and was by far the dominant force in world geopolitics, Bar Kochba led a rebellion that was actually quite successful for quite a long time. And according to this approach, Lag BaOmer is the date that Bar Kochba was successful in regaining control of Yerushalayim. Again, of course, it was temporary, because although Bar Kochba lasted about 3 years, which is pretty incredible considering he was up against the Roman army, finally the Romans came down on him, diverted forces from other parts of the world, and kind of smushed him like a mosquito, and came down very, very hard on Israel and the Jewish people in the aftermath of that. But the suggestion is, and again, no firm evidence, but hints in certain sources. And by the way, all of the ideas, again, about Lag BaOmer are hints in certain sources. Maybe it's connected to Bar Kochba regaining control of Yerushalayim. Now, here's something that's fascinating from yesterday's news. So yesterday, there was an announcement of a recent discovery near the Kotel. The Israel Antiquities Authority announced yesterday that a coin minted during the Bar Kochba revolt was found near the Kotel recently. The coin, okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay, I'm going to hold up. Okay, that's one side of the coin. Okay, and this is the other side of the coin. Now, I know it's hard to see like that, but one side of the coin has a cluster of grapes. That's the first one I showed you. And the words, year 2 of the freedom of Israel. One more time. Year 2 of the freedom of Israel. Again, we know that Bar Kochba's revolt lasted about 3 years. But here's the kicker. On the second side is a picture of a palm tree. The second picture I showed you is a palm tree, and the word Yerushalayim. Now, you should know that thousands of coins have been found in that area of the old city. Only 4 coins have been found near the Kotel from the time of Bar Kochba. Only 4. And this is the only one that has the word Yerushalayim on it. Well, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. Certainly, it does not prove any connection to Lag BaOmer. So not asserting that in any way whatsoever. However, it is certainly possible to infer that this coin is an indication that Bar Kochba, in fact, did reconquer Yerushalayim, at least for a certain amount of time. And we know that he had minted coins, but apparently, maybe he had minted coins in honor of his retaking Yerushalayim and being in the second year of that and connecting it to Yerushalayim. So celebrating our connection to Yerushalayim on Lag BaOmer is really an intrinsic part of this day. So I invite you, take the opportunity. First of all, stay home. Second of all, be careful about social distancing. But maybe you could take a little walk around your balcony or and get a little fresh air. Enjoy some music today. Enjoy the day and celebrate. If you want to celebrate Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, be my guest, but also celebrate our eternal connection to Yerushalayim. Have a wonderful day.